Welcome to the All In Podcast, joined by Mitchell and Kevin. We're doing a quick episode here. Gumayusi has officially left T1. Kind of insane, completely crazy. What are your first reactions?
My first reactions is this guy heard us chatting casually about how he wasn't the GOAT because he only won on one team. He's like, all right, well then, I gotta do what I gotta do, man. I gotta prove to the others that I'm real. But I actually have talked to other friends, and legitimately, I think he's doing this to make a legacy. He won World's Finals and World Final MVP. He's like, okay, I need to prove I can do it without the GOAT.
Yeah. I do think that's got to be part of it, right? That's why so many players have left the team with Faker. I remember Marn back in the day trying to do that. He wasn't successful. But Gumayusi, I think, is a much more likely candidate, especially if he goes to the rumored Hanwha Life. If that happens, he has a big potential. Like, if he wins Worlds without Faker, he's going to be a legend. He already is a legend. He'll be, like, on the next tier. Like, he'll be insane to do that without Faker. I think other reasons why he left, though, right, is the benching, right? And the T1 Gal stuff. Gal? I don't know. T1 Gal.
Gal, yeah, whatever they were talking about. I saw them going through it. I mean, benching for Smash 2 who wasn't even a top player in LC Challengers League is like probably really hurt him considering how loyal he has been to the team.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Smash is an insane talent. I think he is really good, and so
yeah.
From an average esports team perspective, it makes sense if you have a really great player on your academy roster to give them some playtime. But I also think, right, like benching Gumayusi, your 2-time world champion, 3-time world finals, just one of the best AD carries out there. I definitely think it hurts. It's a loss of trust, especially with how the benching might have gone down. Probably internally, Guma didn't feel comfortable with it.
Yeah, and also you gotta talk about who's replacing him.
Yeah, it's Pays, right? T1 Pays is the rumored person being signed to replace Gumayusi. Now, Pays is an amazing AD carry, one of the best in the world. But to me, he's not even in that conversation that I put Guma with Viper and Ruler in, right?
I would say not only that, like, yeah, he's in the combo or conversation, but at the same time, you also have to remember that he's literally replaced Ruler and Guma if he does this. So,
That's
like,
true.
Is he the GOAT replacement?
That is a good point, right? He did replace Ruler on Gen G. He got them an MSI win. Pays is a great player. He has that insane mechanical high ceiling for Pays, just like Gumayusi, but we'll see about that clutch factor, right? Like, I think we all worried about the clutch factor with Doran, and it almost like lost them the finals, his anti-clutch factor for Doran. And I'm curious how that's gonna go with Pays, because Guma, he has that magical clutch factor that all the other players on T1 had, right? Especially on the original ZOFGK.
ZOFGK.
Do you think Gumayusi is going to keep his magic when he goes to another roster?
I don't think so. I think, as I said before, the second Faker left the room, he was in I need an adult mode. I think more importantly, though, although that's a good meme to have, him missing Keria means I think he's going to get exposed. Unless he gets a very, very good support, and I can't think of that many who are at the level who can show how good he is, I think he'll flounder at first. The thing I'll say, though, is that if he gets a good support that feeds him, we might see a whole nother level of Guma, because he's the best hands player, but actually Keria is like a super good roamer. He's not necessarily always there to just power through lanes. Certain metas he will, but I actually think there's a world where we end up seeing a different Guma.
Yeah, I mean, I do expect, like, let's just hypothesize that Gumayushi's going to Hanwha Life, right? I always thought that the stylistic problem that Hanwha Life had is that Zeus is a carry top laner who was forced to play weak side because they had Viper, and the team only knew how to win with Viper. They never invested into learning how to win with strong side top lane with Zeus. Also, it's not necessarily their fault because lane swaps kind of invalidated carry top laners for a while. And so you can't pick Yone top because you'll just get lane swapped on, right? You can't pick these really aggressive winning top lane matchups that Zeus is definitely the best in the world at, right? Zeus and Bin are the best at aggro, carry tops, winning through lane, 1v9ing team fights. Lane swaps really hurt that, and so they had to focus on like a Viper carry strategy for Hanwha Life. Gumayusi, though, is very used to letting his top laner carry the game, right? Gumayusi and Zeus have spent a long time switching who's strong side, who's weak side. So I think Guma could be a good fit for Hanwha Life. I think he fits more than Viper, especially if Hanwha Life is able to switch their mid laner. Let's say they get rid of Zeka and they get BDD. Oh my god, right? I think that Hanwha Life roster can contend with T1 for sure, and contend with the Gen Gs of the world. So yeah, let's see. Is Guma gonna lose his magic? I don't know. I think he'll lose some of it, right? Some of his magic definitely felt like it is the T1 faker carry, sort of just magical team fighting and playmaking. That does not exist on Hanwha Life the same way. I don't think it exists on any other team the same way, right?
I also think that the other thing is that...
Oh, speak close to the mic.
Oh, sorry. I also think that the other thing is that with them being used to playing with each other, they might be able to switch between the roles, right? Because they did learn how to play not just super carry. Like, I think the dynamic and the trust will be there. I think it's hilarious that I see the memes everywhere. They're like, eventually Faker will just play against all of ZO, GK,
Yeah.
and he'll just be carrying the corpses of Gen G. Because like, truly, we're like doing the test, right? Is it Faker or is it his team? And then Zeus, who was like also a top contender in the role, goes to another team, doesn't even make it to semis. Wait.
Nope, they lost in quarters to Gen G.
Quarters, yes, they lost in quarters to Gen G. Doesn't make it even to semis, and like he looked fine, but like he didn't, he wasn't as untouchable as he was at Worlds last year, for example. Mm-hmm. So, like, fine for his standards, to be fair. So all that to say, like, I mean, Faker really just completes the whole run. He gets Doran a win. He gets... Who else could he get a win? Just Chovy lane swap? Like, are we really gonna play now?
Chovy 80 carry?
Oh my god. Like, it's actually ridiculous. He could get Tarzan a win, I guess, but like, that's not Gen G either. Who was Gen G's jungler that hasn't won?
Yeah,
because Kennen won once.
I mean, Peanut was on T1.
Retires to come to T1.
Returned to T1. I mean, it's the new version of Faker in T1, right? And the new legacy. Imagine Peanut comes back next year after retirement. Peanut's second dance with T1 to win the World Championship, because owner like first last year it's Zeus, this year it's Guma, next year T1's gonna fuck over owner for some reason. Owner's gonna go to Hanwha Life. The storylines are getting really insane. I am gonna say one thing, as a big T1 fan, as a T1 lover, I think it's incredibly tragic what the organization did here. I think everybody last year was upset about the organization and how they handled Zeus, right? There was all the lying and the false statements made by Joe Marsh, the undercutting the budget and giving Zeus a smaller contract, right? This year, right, some of the things that I've heard is that Gumayusi wasn't properly protected from like the T1 Gaul sort of crazy fan club, where they're essentially like sending death threats to his family. They're sending him death threats regularly. He's getting trucked, right? I think
trucked is such a funny term because it's it works so many ways.
Yeah, he's getting trucked, man. He's like, truck off, bro.
It's actually really serious, but like
It's really serious, but it's like the memes are ridiculous because how crazy of a bunch of human beings do you have to be to buy a truck, to rent a truck, and send it to a video game player? Like, you gotta be kidding me, right?
And like, it's not like he did anything egregious. Like, there are players who have committed minor crimes. In NBA, John Morant like waved a gun on social media and got spent. Like, guys,
just
what
Google aiming 15, you know? Like,
oh my God, there are other esports like Google aiming 15, Google
Shanks.
Vasily,
yeah,
Google Shanks.
Shanks is a recent one. Like, there's
Goodness
players
gracious.
out there that have actually done horrible things, but Gumayusi just underperforms every now and then in the regular season, and he gets a whole fandom that's absolutely insane. It is, of course, it's because it's attached to T1. I think it's really sad. I think it's also disappointing that it feels like we all love the players, especially Zeo, FGK, right? We all love them, but we all hate the org, right? I hate the org so much because one of the things that we're gonna miss out on is like we're missing out on magic, on like something unprecedented, something we'll never see again. Could they have gone for a 4-peat? Like, I think there's like a large community of people that are going to say, no, it's boring. I want to see something else. Who cares, right? And for the short term, I understand that argument. But I think for the long term, for people like us, for hardcore watchers that have been watching this game for a very long time, watching the sport for a long time, like, we would be able to see something special and never happen again, right? A team going for a 2-peat, insane. Only Faker's done it. A 3-peat, literally unprecedented. Never could you believe that would happen. A 4-peat would just be upping the level, right? It's like, in the moment, it'll be like, okay, T1 wins again, but then when we look back 5-10 years ago, we're gonna be thinking like, isn't it insane that they got a 4-peat? Like, isn't that crazy? And we got robbed of that opportunity, I think. We got robbed of that legacy.
There's so many competitive endeavors where like you just don't see a group of people stay together. Even like outside of competition, right? Like music, for example. People like the band just doesn't stay together because they're just like, you know, egos grow as you get more popular and more famous. You know, someone has more fans or someone whatever. I think T1 is in such a special place because Faker's so head and shoulders above everyone in this conversation. So it's like very hard to develop a am I the GOAT ego, right? Because like who the heck is gonna argue with you who's the GOAT? And not only that, it's also like a team that has been through like ups and downs, and like Faker handpicked and probably trained a lot of these people minus like Carrier, right? Like brought them up and then made them who they are, right? But then never had an ego himself. Well, as far as the GOAT can have, he has a very small ego, all things considered, right? So I feel like this kind of specialty, like normally it's just like natural, right? They need a bigger salary, they need a bigger like they want to be the star, they want to be solo, but this team would have stuck together otherwise. They could have done the first 3-peat as a single roster, right? And in a game where everyone always tries to fix the problem immediately, I think ZOFGK is like the example. Like, first of all, the fact that this ridiculous acronym we can even remember, like what the heck? I think ZOFGK is the reason why people started keeping their rosters, and I think that's actually like we're like friggin' 15 years in, and like we see a run back of like FlyQuest, for example, and we're like, no, that makes sense, right? Because they had something going, something special, and I was really happy about it. And so it just been administrative issues and I don't know, power trips, egos from the management. Like that's what it feels like, right? When they benched Guma, there was no good reason.
Yeah, well, okay. So I think for the benching, there was some good reasons in that, right? Like Guma was genuinely performing poorly on Ezreal and Kai'Sa that were in the meta at the time. Guma was just not as good on Zarya as well, right? And then Smash was a legitimate talent that deserved playtime. So I think those are legitimate reasons to do a benching. I think the way it was handled, it felt from an outside perspective like the organization didn't handle it very well. Like they didn't treat Guma with respect in it, right? Like we don't know what's being said behind the scenes. We don't know how things feel, right? But isn't it insane? Do you remember back then? Joe Marsh had to like make some tweets and do some bullshit and like actually like get Guma back onto the main roster because of popularity reasons. Like the disconnect within the organization that like the coaches like Mata and Koma and what they're doing versus what Joe Marsh is trying to do, right? Like that whole thing is it's just a recipe for disaster, and we're just reliving it again, right? We did it last year with Zeus, this year with Guma. I don't understand why T1 isn't going extra, like above and beyond, to the absolute next mile to like protect their legacy players. Like Guma felt like he's like Faker's like second cousin or something. Guma felt like if you took care of Guma, if you respected Guma, if you put all your eggs in the Guma basket, he would have been a T1 player for the rest of his career. He would have committed to the org forever, right? He would have done anything for them. But I really do feel like they mistreated him. They didn't protect his family and him from like T1 golf stuff. They didn't make it like a big enough deal. Like, I don't know. I don't know enough about running a team or a company or anything like that. But if it was me, I would have moved heaven and earth. I would have spent all the money. If I'm Joe Marsh, I'm sacrificing my paycheck to keep Guma around because he is such a moneymaker, right? And I think, yeah, T1 got ahead of themselves. It's like, yo, the T1 org is nothing. It's all about the T1 players that we love. The T1 players of the talent.
Also, you have to remember, like, it's not just Guma. And when he joined, Guma's brother, Innovation, is like a legend in StarCraft 2. He's not on the level of Faker, of course, but he's a top player, made about 800K throughout his career, last I checked. And he was a part of T1 since 2014. Like, his big brother was literally in T1. Like, this is a family dynasty. You had this guy's loyalty. Like, yes, that he might have had ego. Like, there could have been a whole host of problems, right? But like, that's like the basics, dude. When you're dealing with the GOAT candidates and they have some ego, like, that's just expected. Faker is the exception to the rule. If you're a potential GOAT candidate, you should have an ego, almost certainly.
Mm-hmm.
Faker has like that quiet ego. They're like, who's the best of all time? It's like, me. It's like, well, yeah, of course it is.
Yeah. I do think like T1 probably treats Faker like with an immense amount of respect, and they listen to him, right? I just wish they did that with the rest of the members on T1. Like, I'm just gonna go back and say it again. Like, dude, if I was like the GM or the manager or the head coach of T1, like, yo, even if I have to bench Guma or something, like, I would be like begging, I would be on my knees and be like, hey man, I know how much you've done for this team, and I'm so sorry I have to do this to you, but like, we're gonna have to bench you. I know it sucks, right? Like, I would have been so trying to like, you know, close
it over.
Yeah, like, I just don't want to upset my guy, because obviously Guma is sacrificing his whole life. He's dedicating everything for the success of T1. He's definitely like shied away from massive contracts to stay on T1, right? We already know as soon as Guma won his first Worlds and his second Worlds, he could have cashed out for a ridiculous amount of money. And I just don't know why T1 isn't being like, no, you don't need to cash out there because we're going to cash you the fuck out, right? Like, if I'm Joe Marsh, I'd be like, bro, I'm going to buy your family a new house somewhere secret so they can't get death threats, right? Your mom, your dad, your grandma, yo, tell them to sell the house, put whatever money they got down, I'll fill the rest, we'll get a secret house for them so they can't get death threats anymore. Like, I would literally move heaven and earth. But, you know, it's like, I guess orgs just don't do that. And maybe it's crazy what I'm saying, right? But that's what I would do if I have a golden.
Defending your players, especially your best, but any player on your roster, from death threats and everything you can from public scrutiny, like, that should be the bare minimum. You don't need to be a GOAT candidate for that, right? Basic human decency, no? Yeah,
help them as much as you can. So I mean, I do think like it's hard to stop that stuff without going crazy, right? Like, buying your player's family a house is pretty wild. It's pretty crazy. Like, if I'm like, you know, if I'm Team Liquid, I'm not going to do that for Core JJ. Even though Core JJ is like the freaking GOAT of NA, like one of the GOATs of NA, right? Like, yes. I wouldn't do it for him. But for Gumayusi, winning Worlds 3 times, maybe a 4th, I would do it for him. And I'm T1, like, where's T1's money going, bro? Like, is it just padding Joe Marsh's wallet? Is it just padding, like, whose wallets are they padding with the T1 wins? Because why are they not considered the most wealthy org, right? Why is like teams like Hanwha Life and like JDG and like like these other orgs, why does it seem like they have endless money to just throw at players, and yet T1 somehow has to give Zeus a shitty contract and pay him less? Like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, why aren't they just rolling in money? I'm really curious about that.
Good question.
Yeah. And if they are rolling in money, right, they're clearly not investing enough of it into their players to keep them around, right? Like how much money? I'm curious. I want to see some numbers. I bet the numbers don't even exist. They'd be too hard to calculate. But like, how much money will T1 lose by losing, you know, the Gumayusi branding, the OFGK? Oh my god, the OFGK branding. How much money are they going to lose, right? Because I remember last year they were upset they lost the Zeo FGK branding because they had to get rid of Zeus. But it's like, you did that to your fucking selves, guys.
It's that bicycle meme where you put the stick in the bicycle and then you complain.
Yeah. Who did this?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Why did Hanwha Life do this to us? It's like, you did it to yourself, T1.
Actually, though.
Yeah, I don't believe it. I can't believe that Guma left. I think it's a complete fumble from T1. T1, they got lucky they won Worlds with Dorn this year. They genuinely did. I genuinely believe that Dorn is really good. He's a top laner in the entire world, right? But like, it is way less close with Zeus. Zeus is still, in my opinion, a better player. Even though Zeus only made it to quarterfinals this year and Dorn made it to finals, from the eye test alone and knowing all the history of these players, Zeus is still better than Dorn by a good amount too. And
no, absolutely. Like, I meme about it, but like, no, absolutely.
Yeah, Dorn is very, very good, but he's not elite like Zeus, right? Pays is very, very good, and we'll have to see how he performs this year. But he's not Guma level, right? Like, Gumayusi is in contender for like one of the best AD carries ever, top 3. He performs like it all the time at Worlds. Pays is like someone who's like, yeah, you're one of the best AD carries in the world, like Doran, but you're not the literal best. You're not a contender for the literal best. I feel like T1 keeps fumbling these players. But you know what, man? If T1 actually wins with Pays next year, like, we can quote, right? Remember when Cadril and Nabo Dominate, they shaved their heads bald if Doran won Worlds or whatever on T1? Like, we should clip this moment. We should make this a moment where if T1 somehow wins with Doran and Pays, like, what do we do, man? Should we like throw a party? Should we like, I don't know, like tattoo T1 into our foreheads? Like, what the hell do we do? Should we shave? Should we go bald?
Oh, goodness gracious. I also have a conspiracy to share with you, though, which is in basketball, because this is extremely relevant. In basketball, there's a player called Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
Luka Doncic, who's a Dallas Maverick, who's now in the Lakers. The Lakers are always the most popular org, and they're losing LeBron sooner or later. He's like 41. The guy is old. In even League of Legends term, that would be extremely old. Baker's only like 29. But anyways, so LeBron is the best player on the team, and he's one of the best of all time. But he's gonna retire soon, right? And randomly out of nowhere, they trade like a top 20, top 15 player in Anthony Davis, the Lakers do, to the Mavericks for a top 5, way younger player who has way less injuries in Luka Doncic. And no one knows why. No one knows why. No one gets it. It makes no sense. And it's just a huge fumble. Like, right now, that team is like completely losing it. The player they traded is getting injured as always. And I just can't help but think, do you think Riot strong arm T1? They're like, you guys keep winning. It's actually long-term unsustainable for us, and we need you to give your generational player to someone else.
Yeah.
To add the drama, right? I mean, even the Zeus shit. Like, I don't. For one moment, do I think, like, how do you fumble it that badly? Like, truly, how do you like? You only if I'm T1's front office, you have the easiest job in the world. All you gotta do is show up and don't do anything.
Don't fuck it up.
You have a winning roster. So them screwing it up, I feel like after this year, after Faker pull off the fuckery that is winning with Doran top, they're like, oh shit, we gotta go down the line. But carry would be too obvious. So, you know, with Guma already having natural issues with the team this year, I guess we gotta do it, man. And then Joe Marsh is like, yes, sir, daddy, Trindamere.
They sent the riot snipers, they sent the riot assassins to Joe Marsh's house and be like, you better trade Guma. Oh man, that is a conspiracy of all time. That is a wild conspiracy.
It's just like when things don't make sense otherwise, I have to naturally think it's because it was not stupid. Like there are stupid people in the scene, of course there are, but this is like the #1 team, right, of all time. I think no one's gonna argue. What's inarguable? One, Faker's the GOAT. Yeah. Two, T1's the best team of all time, an organization. Yeah. Right? Faker's the constant, but he's not literally. Maybe he is, but he's not the front office, right? He's not the one doing all of the decisions in the science. He has a say in it. But there's no way he said get rid of Zeus. I refuse to believe that.
No way
he said get rid of Gumayusi.
No, yeah, I don't. I do think like probably Guma wanted to leave as well because of all the issues, but the fact that he wanted to leave is just a disgrace. It's just a massive disappointment, a massive failure on the T1 org, and the fact that they didn't throw the bag at him to try and get him to stay either. I mean, maybe they did, but like I feel like you just keep raising that number until he stays, right? Like if I'm T1 and I give Guma a fat number and he still wants to leave because of all the issues, like, yo, I would just be pumping that number up. I'll be like, I'm sorry, okay, that's not good enough for you. How about this number? Still not good for you? How, you know what I mean? Like, just
you earned it, King. Like, act like unironically. There's no. It shouldn't even be like a discussion point. I feel stupid discussing it almost. I'm like,
yeah, because we're trying to interpret the absolutely moronic decisions that T1 makes. The only way to explain it is that Riot sent assassins to Joe Marsh's saying, hey, you're winning too much. Stop it.
Yeah, your free trial on winning is over, buddy.
Yep. Yeah, you know, we gave you the Faker bot. It's been doing great for you, but our Chovy bot needs a win, you know?
You gotta share some with everyone else.
Yeah, share the love, okay? Chovy bot, you know, he keeps malfunctioning at the end, and it's like we need to get him a win, you know?